Wrap up, protect your chains, and make sure your Broncos coverage isn't...
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to the In-COM-PLETE podcast, where your coast-to-coast hosts provide you with news, coverage, and all things Denver Broncos, plus anything else that's on our minds. I am Ty, and I enjoy my wonderful co-host and best friend, Kelly. If I were to give you one word to describe last week's game against the Colts, undisciplined.
The referees?
Sure. We'll go there, referees.
Yeah, it wasn't a good game all around. I like what one Bronco player said, which was one play does not define the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I have told many people that when they're upset about a flag, at the end of the game, that, you know, your team shouldn't be in a position where the refs can take the game away from you. So I've tried hard to swallow that bitter pill, but I came up with a sentence to describe it.
Let me have it.
Offense, 2 steps forward. Defense, 2 steps back.
I would wholeheartedly agree with that. Wouldn't have no arguments for me whatsoever, because I don't even know what happens. Like, it was like last against the Titans, the defense was great, but the offense was bleh. They just both pulled a 180.
Yeah, I have some theory. And this is why I get frustrated the weeks that the defense is not good or is making mistakes or shows itself to be undisciplined. And then people go, well, you can't expect the defense to bail you out every time.
Right.
Well, but yes, you can. Like, I expect Bo Nix to score touchdowns every game. I expect my defense to stop the other offense every time. Like, I'm unclear of this concept of, well, we have a really good defense and the games they just don't show up, you're supposed to swallow for the good games they show up at. Huh?
Yeah. What? I'm failing to understand the logic behind that. So
I do too, but you see the tweets every week that go, "Oh, you can't blame the defense; it's the offense's fault." Okay, I'm gonna blame the defense, and I'm gonna blame a specific section of the defense, and I'm gonna blame a specific person of the defense in a minute.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that one. I think I might have a good idea where you're gonna be pointing towards, so I'm gonna let that go. But before we do break into the recap of this game, I do understand that you have a challenge flag this week.
Looks as if the fans have thrown out the challenge flag. I wonder what Kelly and Ty have said that has warranted the challenges in this episode.
Apologies, I had a little bit of technical difficulties.
Yes, I know. It's hard. I did get a challenge flag, and you know what? They're absolutely right. In discussing Super Bowl places, I said, well, you know, we only have a couple, you know, I'm very excited about, what's it called? What yard?
Candlestick Yard?
No, in Denver, the new place.
Oh, Birmingham Yards.
Burnham Yard, and being very excited and wanting there to be a roof because that qualifies us for a Super Bowl. I said, well, you know, we only have so many choices. Right. You know, the Super Bowl's only been played here. You know, those are our choices. I was very wrong. The Super Bowl has been played in more places. They've been played in a lot of college stadiums. They've been hosted in Houston at Rice Stadium. I forgot all about the Georgia Dome. I forgot all about Atlanta. They've been played there. A number have been played in Arizona at Tempe Field. The Pasadena Rose Bowl has hosted quite a few.
Yep, including the very
The
first
Orange
one.
Bowl in Miami, not just Miami Dolphin Stadium or Tampa Bay or Jacksonville. And even Tulane, Louisiana has hosted 3 or 4. So Stanford out here in California has hosted a couple. I forgot. The college stadiums used to step up. I forgot Super Bowls were there, you know. And then they're on tap to be played in New Orleans, Detroit, Las Vegas, all around. So I was absolutely wrong. It feels like they're only played in 4 places, but they're not, and they haven't been. And I was wrong. And I have been overturned. The challenge flag was successful.
I mean, yeah, but mostly when you think about when Super Bowls are played, you really think of California, you think of Florida, you think of Texas, you think of Arizona, you think of New Orleans. Those are like the big places. And I know Atlanta's thrown
Minnesota's had a few.
Minnesota's had a few. MetLife Stadium threw the one, but the one that we're not going to remember later. Sorry, didn't mean to bring that up.
J.R. Smith did. I don't know. Huh?
What?
Huh?
What are we talking about?
What do you mean we were tied?
But there was well, we did talk about California, but there is Levi Stadium, which is hosting this year's Super Bowl. But remember what happened 10 years ago in that one?
I do remember, but I had said that for a span of years, it only rotated around 4 places, and I was just wrong. It didn't do that. It seems like that because when you think of the big ones, that's where the big ones were. And before lately, a lot were played in college stadiums.
That's right.
Because I was just trying to think of good weathers and domes, and I completely forgot the Georgia Dome. So,
yeah,
completely forgot Atlanta's in a dome, and I forgot Indy's in a dome. I bet Indy's had some that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head.
Indy, they had one.
Yeah, see, so I admit I was wrong. I was just talking. I was so excited about the new stadium and the possibility that there'd be a Super Bowl in Denver that I just spouted out. Good, because we'll have more options. And,
yes.
Not kind of forgetting in recent years how many more options the NFL really has.
Right. I think the one in Indy was when the Giants beat the Patriots for the second time, if my memory serves me correctly. But
so Eli got a ring in Peyton's house?
I think he did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So throw a challenge flag if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain that was the case.
Or don't. We can let this conversation go.
Okay, we will let it go, and you
can throw the challenge flag, but
Oh, I can.
You guys win. You guys win. I get it. You win.
We should start keeping tabs on how many of these challenge flags have been stay as called or have been reversed.
This is the second one that's been reversed.
Of all time?
Of all time.
Okay, so we have a pretty good percentage going for us. I'll take it.
I mean, I am the guy in the review booth, so I might be a little biased, but this one, this is the second one that's been overturned.
All right. So kudos to you, fans. Woo! But speaking of football, we do have to cover this recap. Since it is a loss, we are going to start with the good. So, did you find anything that was good?
Troy Franklin.
Perfect. I was going to mention him too.
8 catches for 89 yards, 11.1 average, 1 touchdown. On one drive alone, he was 3 catches for 61 yards and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Plus he had 1 carry for 11 yards, so he's averaging an 11-yard rushing season for us.
There you go. Yeah, I'm really liking how he's stepping up in a big way. I think a lot of people have mentioned like him changing his number has awoken something in him, and now he's like this elite wide receiver. It's only been 2 games, but I like what he's done in the 2 games so far.
I thought it was cute when they posted the picture of him and Bo in the same numbers
Yes.
then and now. I thought that was cute. And I'm down with whoever started calling it Duck Dynasty.
Wait, someone started calling Duck Dynasty?
Yeah, Nick to Franklin, Duck Dynasty in full
Ooh.
effect.
Okay, I can get behind that. Oh man, that just sounds good. I like it.
I know.
So whoever came up with that, well done. Well done. I will point out Jeremy Crawshaw again had his punt average wasn't that great. He only punted 3 times, but his 3 punts were inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It was another good showing, 3 for 134 yards, which is only a 44.7 average, but he wasn't punting back at the 1.
No.
I mean, you have to punt with the field that they give you, and if you're punting around the 30, 35, 40, you don't want a longer punt. You want to, coffin corner it inside the 20, and he did every single time.
Yep.
And he knows how to kick it into the landing zone.
Yeah, sure does. I totally forgot that play happens because it rarely happens. But kickoff do not land in the landing zone. I'm like, huh? Like, oh, I think that was Indy's kicker that did it, right?
Yeah.
So that gave us good field position, and
then we marched it down for a touchdown.
Yeah, there you go.
Which was another good, but that can be my turn, or I can go again.
It can be your turn now.
Okay. I'm gonna say it. I don't think Bo Nix had a bad game.
No, I don't think so either.
He had 3 rushes for 20 yards. He was 22 of 30 for 206 yards. He had 3 touchdowns to 1 interception. That interception was tipped. It wasn't the greatest pass in the world. It wasn't, whatever, but it was tipped. It wasn't like he and overall that should have been enough for us to win that game.
Absolutely.
It just wasn't. His feet work looked a ton better. Was he perfect? No. Did we need a little more from him? Obviously, but we wanted to see him come out strong in week 2, and I think he did.
Yeah, I think the biggest, like you mentioned, the biggest thing that I'd noticed from him is that he seemed more settled down than he did in week 1. Like he didn't have like the jitters or anything like that. It was just him like commanding the field the best he could, and to only have 8 incompletions for the entire game is actually pretty impressive given what the defense was giving him. I don't like the fact that he threw some. 30 is not too much, but it is starting to teeter on territory of like, okay, we're starting to pass. So I think it was a little bit more of a balance with run versus pass, but it did seem it leaned a little bit more towards the pass. Whereas in the first half, it seemed like the running game was being effective, but it might have been also because this game was so back and forth the entire time. It's like we got to rely on maybe a little less on the run and more on the pass, just try to keep Indy on their toes. And it kind of makes sense too, because Indy was down, I think they're 2 starting corners, if I'm not mistaken. So 3 starting corners. Thank you for correcting me. So I think Sean Payton's plan was to try to take advantage of that, and he did the best he could, and Bo took what he could get. But as you said, could he have done a little bit more? Probably. But it was definitely like day and night compared from week 1 to week 2. And I don't have any more good, so.
Oh, I have J.K. Dobbins, 14 carries for 76 yards. That's a 5.4 average and 1 touchdown.
Yes.
I also have Hufanga, because his effort to stop that long Taylor run and saving the touchdown and making Indy go, settle for 3 would have been a key play of the game had we won it.
Oh, yeah, that is very true.
But that effort to not give up, and he chased him down and caught him. He owes Singleton 2 dinners for that.
More like maybe 6 dinners for saving the touchdown.
And then I had, we scored. We're not stuck. For years, we were stuck at 13, 16 points. And this is actually from Mile High Dreams, who gave me this stat. When we score at least 27 points, we are 217, 48, and 1.
Nice.
So once we get to 27, we're supposed to be able to breathe easy. But however, we are now 217, 49, and 1 because we did not win the game.
Yeah. I really thought with that last touchdown that made it, I think it was like 28 to 20. Yeah, 28-20 at that point. I was thinking, all right, I think this is a good, like, we can get maybe just one more score. We got it in the bag. Or our defense was, you know what? We'll get to the defense later, but I thought 28 would have been a good spot to where maybe just kicking a field goal would have been enough.
We tried,
which we're going to get to that soon. I'm trying to think. I think there was like another good I was thinking about, but I think, yeah, nothing's really coming back to me anymore. So if it's okay, I do have one bad that I think not a lot of people have been focusing in on. Okay. And that may be based on how the game was being played. But Cortland Sutton only had 1 catch that entire game. On 4 targets.
Yeah. I have a big paragraph on that.
Okay. Let us have it.
Okay, so I have Bo Nix / Sean Payton's play calling in the bad. I do not think Bo Nix is really helping with the play calling or has a say in the play calling. Except maybe at the line of scrimmage, when he starts clapping his hands and getting frustrated and yelling audibles. If that's what he's yelling. I can't ever really make out what he's yelling. I don't understand. I know we've only played 2 games this season, but between this season and last season, there are no deep crosses or seams. Sean Payton hasn't called 1 deep cross or seam pass.
Interesting.
Which leads to the narrative that Bo Nix is a check down merchant. And when you look at his pass chart that they post on Twitter, his incompletions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's not pushing the ball downfield. But I also don't think he's out there calling a lot of plays. And it makes me wonder if Sean's got some idea in his head, and some narrative he's trying to do. We talked about this last week. Is he refusing to play calls to Bo's strength, trying to make Bo a different quarterback than what the pundits have said? Where are the plays? Where are the passes to the middle of the field where he was so successful last year? That's what Sutton was catching.
Right.
Right at 12, 15, 18 yards. Right in the middle. Not one single pass there.
That's odd.
And isn't passes down the middle exactly why we picked up Ingram?
Yeah, I would say so.
Wasn't that the logic behind that pickup?
I thought it was logic.
Where is he?
Either he's just non-factor or he's getting hurt.
But I didn't even know he was playing until he got called offsides. I didn't even realize he was on the field until who was offsides? Ingram. Oh, he's playing. And then my next question is, where is Sutton? Why doesn't Bo seem to have any help from these weapons we were so happy to get for him?
Right.
Now, Bo did miss the drag route that would have been a first down and called the game.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it. I know. I'm in no way claiming Bo is perfect and oh, poor Bo. And I don't want to do another season where I'm a Denver quarterback apologist.
Mm-hmm.
It is only his second year, but I don't get it. And I think it falls more on Sean than it does Bo. Because I don't believe Bo's calling the plays, but I'm completely thrown at why Sean Payton's calling an offense where the tools to help the young quarterback that you're trying to make elite don't help.
I'm starting to feel like it's just going to be a rinse and repeat of last year. Like, we had the slow start. They want to see what the weapons are, what Bo's capable of. But you can't really take chances like that. Like, you've got to be able to take chances like that. You've got...
How are Sutton and Ingram not getting open and not being able to get away from the coverage of 3 backup corners?
Exactly.
Are they not better than the
think.
first, second, and third backup of the cornerbacks?
I don't know.
Bo makes bad decisions. Bo gets hurried. Bo looks unsettled. I get it. But how many people are on offense?
11.
11? It can't just be Bo.
Mm-mm.
And I don't think it is just Bo. It could just be Russell Wilson. It can just be Brock Osweiler. It can just be Case Keenum. It can be insert one of those carousel horse quarterbacks here. But I don't think it's just Bo.
I truly don't think so either.
Last week, maybe, but not this week.
No, and from what I understand, I think he had a fairly clean pocket as well. I'm pretty sure I'm going to look real quick. I don't think Bo got sacked at all in that game. I'm pretty sure. I want to say, yeah, I don't remember him getting sacked at all in the game. So he had a fairly clean pocket. The offensive line was doing its job for the most part. But where's Sutton? Where's Ingram? Where's... Except for the touchdown catch by Mims, that's pretty much all I ever heard from him.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
And I'm going to go back to probably something I said last season. I don't know if it's Sean Payton making the plays so complex or he's simplifying it for Bo. Like, he's got to find like a happy medium in there somewhere. Like, and then of course the wide receivers need to find a way to get open.
But Sutton not getting free has nothing to do with Bo's understanding.
Right.
Ingram not being open has very little to do with Bo's understanding.
Exactly.
Sean Payton doing a really unbalanced offense where we don't use the run to set up the pass has nothing to do with Bo's knowledge of the game.
Right.
I mean, I get Bo's going to take all the heat because Bo's the quarterback and that's just how this rolls. But
something's got to change.
Something. And I don't think I'm starting to pick up that Sean Payton's arrogance isn't going to be him.
Yeah, definitely. Someone's going to get thrown under the bus somewhere. And no, Peyton's probably not going to take the blame for it. But yeah, something has to be figured out. I mean, they were able to figure it out last year, and we got 10 wins out of it. But there's somewhere down the road where you just... Either you have to just trust that your playmaker... You have to, 1, trust that your playmakers can get the plays done. 2, your weapons can actually get open. And 3, you just this is Bo's second year. He's coming into his next this weekend is going to be his 20th regular season game he's played. I think 20 games is enough of a sample size. Like, you know what? Let him sling it. Let him do what he needs to do to get the win.
Well, just call a play to his strength.
Exactly. And I think a lot of defensive coordinators out there are starting to find like 1 week. Like I saw something on Twitter that a lot of defensive coordinators are finding a weakness to Bo's game, and it's like his ability to like move around in the pocket and just like throw around, like getting him unsettled is like what they're trying to do to help them win the game. If someone on Twitter can recognize that, why can't Sean Payton recognize that?
I mean, defensive coordinators haven't said that, and that's the defensive coordinator's job. They study hours and hours of film, and they didn't just miraculously find this, because film is not like it was in the 70s and 80s, where you are actually waiting for a team to process film that they could put on a projector and then copy to send, and you had to go, hope they sent it to you or send someone to go pick it up. However, the transport of film happened.
Mm-hmm.
It is instant. It is instant. We have film. We have film of the interception before Bo Nix goes and sits down.
Yep.
So there being film on Bo isn't something this year, I have figured this out. And Sean Payton is a successful enough coach. Everyone figured out Drew Brees' game plan too.
Right.
That's not, everyone knows Mahomes' game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows Brady's game plan. The game plan is get your wide receiver open and throw him the ball. That's the game plan. That's the game plan for every football offense ever. And if Bo obviously can throw outside the middle of the field, because that's what he's been doing all this season, because he hasn't had a single pass in that box. If I could draw it, I should have sent you a thing to show up to present.
Mm-hmm.
But here, I can do a really bad
doodle.
John Madden doodle.
Yes.
So
this is how we do this way.
We have the line here.
Okay. Let's study this real quick.
I gotta. Oh wait, my green screen's scaring.
Oh no, the green screen's not working.
I know.
Let's see. See, we set up a play here. We do this and then this. I wish I had my pen on me, but I don't. So I think it dropped somewhere, but it's okay.
But okay, so
you guys get the idea.
Okay, if this is the line,
yes.
Can you see that?
I can see that.
Right here off the line of scrimmage in the middle is where Bo loved to throw.
Right.
And he hasn't thrown one pass here all season. So if the rumor is true that, Bo only likes to throw here, who cares? Put his receiver there, let him throw the ball he loves to throw.
There you go.
Mahomes loves Brady loves to throw to Gronk. He still threw to Gronk every fucking game. Let Bo throw where he loves. This stupid idea that we're not going to do deep crosses seams or let him throw the 8 yards up the field where he likes because, defensive coordinators have figured it out is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Every quarterback likes to throw to his receiver. They still do it every freaking game.
Yep.
Quarterbacks prefer to roll right or they prefer to roll left. Even in the NFL, you can see the preference and the coaches still call the roll right if that's their preference and the roll left if their preference. Good quarterbacks figure out how not to be predictable. But they still do what they're comfortable doing. And this idea that will take away what he's still a young quarterback. I know he's going to start his 20th game, but that's still a young quarterback, if you ask me. And not let him do what he's comfortable doing is asinine.
Yeah.
It's not good coaching. I don't care if you're Sean Payton. It's not good coaching.
Boom. Mic drop.
Gavel.
There you go. Boom, boom. All right. Any other bad? I mean, that can kind of tie. I would say the Cortland something can also tie in with the Broncos tight ends because the tight ends only had 4 catches all game. So that's the whole other thing. The tight ends aren't getting open either. So, but go ahead. Sorry.
I have let's dismiss.
I was thinking
It was a chip shot for him. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, we talked about this last week. Kickers, man, you have one job.
Yeah.
I saw his apology today, and he said, I'm sorry. He took ownership of it, and I know kickers miss.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes back to we need 3 phases of the game, and when our special teams doesn't do what we need them to do, and our defense doesn't do what we want to do, and then Bo Nix, the offense, get all the blame, it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah. Just when I saw the field goal, it looked good, and then just all of a sudden it just to the right and hit the post.
I will never understand how footballs bounce or move or spiral or doink.
Yeah.
I've been watching them for a long time, and that's why when there's a fumble and the ball's on the ground, everyone screams, "Just fall on it," because you have no idea how it's going to bounce.
Right.
And it's just I've watched those kids. I've watched kicks that seem low that suddenly clear the T-bar.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen kicks that look like they're way left suddenly curve in.
I've seen kicks that hit the cross post and bounce in.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how they work. I don't like it. It's up there with salary cap math. I don't know salary cap math. I don't know football traveling physics.
There you go. The last bat I had was Denver just could not, whether he was running the ball or catching the ball. Why couldn't they find a way to stop Jonathan Taylor? I think this probably goes
Singleton.
I was gonna say I think this goes to your linebacker conversation here. So
okay, I have this actually in my ugly.
Okay,
but Singleton just looked awful this game.
He did.
I mean, Taylor just took off. Taylor was just wide open. And I have the entire set of linebackers. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't bring pressure to Daniel frickin' Jones. They couldn't get. We had got 1 sack all game. One
sack all game.
We couldn't get the Colts off the field. I mean, they just looked completely frickin' lost in coverage when you watch them.
Mm-hmm.
And this defense becomes sketchy when we can't get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
When we can't get to a quarterback, our defense looks below average.
Absolutely.
Because if we rattle the quarterback, then our linebackers look better and like their flaws get covered. But when we don't get there, our linebackers were completely outworked this game and completely blown up and look completely lost.
Mm-hmm.
And then this leads me into Vance Joseph with his freaking Achilles of tight ends and players coming out of the backfield. Every time we have a good defensive showing, like last week, Vance Joseph will be a head coach one day. No, he won't.
No, he
won't. Because he cannot cover a tight end or when a player comes out of the backfield.
Yeah. That's unacceptable. That's completely unacceptable.
and there's no adjustment made when it starts happening.
Mm-hmm. It's like he's allergic.
Taylor gets open. Taylor burns us again. Can we do something different than just sit one linebacker on him that doesn't know how to stop him?
I think I really, I would agree to this to the point that like we've kind of seen this even, and I feel like this is like not only a Vance Joseph thing, but it's also a Broncos thing because when we went to our first Broncos game together back in 2016, they had trouble stopping the running back from the backfield. They had trouble stopping the tight end. So I don't know if this team is just allergic to not wanting to cover tight ends or cover running backs.
Generationally?
Exactly.
But I don't remember Lieb and Chris Harris Jr. and DJ Ward and Darren Stewart. I can't remember his first name. I know it starts with a D, but I can't remember which D name it is.
Darian
Stewart not being able to cover a tight end.
Right.
Have I just romanticized that in my head? Because I don't,
possible.
I don't remember. I remember Gronk getting injured against us and not even being able to play full games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he got hurt late in the 2015 game, and he was out for like the last bit of the fourth quarter in overtime. So, yeah, I mean, from what I remember, we used to be able to cover them pretty well, but now, for some reason, we can't. You touched up on.
It's funny because it's the same area of the field that the offense won't throw to. So it's like our coaches sat down and decided this area of play, we're just not going to worry about it. Well, guess what? It's kicking our ass.
It sure is.
It's not a portal. You can just decide isn't there, Vance and Sean. When you go get your coffee today, I don't know where people in Denver get their coffee, but when you go get your coffee, can we talk? Can you both like discuss this area of the field?
Right. Something about the middle of the field. It's like, what is it? Do they feel like it's like the Bermuda Triangle?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's there. The other team is using it to beat us. Can we do something about that?
Right. You better hope that you can do it when you're playing the Chargers this weekend. So,
Chargers person.
But come on, they've been like little brother for a long time. So, and
don't care. Don't care. Freaking.
But you also gotta think the Chargers are gonna charge her at some point. You gotta know it's coming soon.
We can only hope.
Yeah. Like Chargers gonna charge her, Raiders gonna Raider.
I thought Daniel Jones was gonna Daniel Jones at some point.
I thought so too, but it didn't happen.
I kept screaming for the New York Giant, Daniel Jones. Please show up. Please stand up. No, but he's breaking every record that hasn't been broken since Peyton Manning did it.
Jeez.
I freaking hate Trent Green.
Oh, the commentator?
Well, he's a Charger for a long time.
Oh, well, I thought he was a Chief for a long time.
He might have been a Chief for a long time too, but he was a Charger for a long time too. And some of his commentary, he just sounded like he was still butthurt over getting his ass kicked by the Broncos a lot.
Well, you're not gonna like this, but he is gonna be one of the commentators for this week's game against the Chargers. So can listen more Trent Green this weekend.
I have a mute button.
There you go. Just use that. What you do with Chris Hollingsworth, just do it for Trent Green. You mentioned the Broncos defense being ugly.
The linebackers specifically.
The
I told you I was
linebackers
going to
specific-
point
yeah.
fingers to a single unit and a
Yes,
single
you did.
person. I'm putting it on the linebackers and Alex Singleton.
Here's my question about that. When are we getting Drake and Greenlaw?
I had heard rumors he'd be back, this week. And then I said, well, if it's iffy, let's not worry about the Colts. Let's bring him back for the Chargers. And I'm not hearing anything about him coming back against the Chargers either.
Yep.
I need this question answered too.
I'll answer that question when we get to the recap, actually. Or I'm sorry, the preview. My bad. I'm going to put this out here. My one ugly. And we'll cover the big one that cost.
Oh, I have another note with the defense.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so one last little note against the defense, and then I promise I'll try and stop talking about it. At the end of the first half, the defense let the Colts go 80 plus yards in under a minute and a half.
Yikes.
There's 18 yards at the middle of the field every freaking play. Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. I'm not going to get into the big penalty yet, but I want to talk about some crucial penalties that are in my ugly.
Okay, let's roll all the penalties together. Do you have anything other than penalties?
I don't.
Okay. I have the Colts never punted. Not once. Not once.
And they haven't punted in the what? In the 2 games they've played so far. So I think they're the only team that hasn't punted.
Because I don't know if the announcer said it enough that it's not seared into your brain, but the Colts went 10 drives before they didn't score on their drive.
Yep, they did.
Trent Green. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And then also before we get to the penalty, I am going to say this before I start complaining about the refs.
Okay.
And overall, I know Peyton is right that we beat ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
The game should have been in our hands, and we let it slip away. And to show, I'm pointing at the offense too. The final 3 drives ended in a punt, an interception, and a missed field goal.
Yep.
So the offense had ample chances as well. So, but
okay, I will actually.
Damn linebackers wouldn't have got dinner.
I'll actually tie into that. The interception happens when we were, and that's what I think in the red zone, or close enough to the red zone, and then the field goal was makeable. Actually, it would have been really makeable, but there were actually 2 calls before that field goal that kind of put us in that situation to begin with. So my last ugly are the penalties. The first one, which didn't seem too bad at first, but it was, and I didn't even know it was a thing, but J.K. Dobbins.
That's stupid. That is stupid. People spike that ball all the time. It is not that big of a delay a game.
Right.
That was just, and this is my problem with these refs is at the end of the first half. The Colts were blatantly committing DPI.
Mm-hmm.
And the refs called it, and the fans started booing like they're not supposed to call the home team for DPI.
Right.
Now, I agree. Some of the DPI was ticky-tacky. They did not call some of our ticky-tacky, but in the grand scheme of things, you have to know that football karma does that out.
Right.
But the second half calling of this game seems like the refs making up for being booed. And I keep saying feels like, because it just feels like they stopped calling penalties for Denver and kept finding ways to call them for the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with a delay of game. That people spike the ball all the time, and his spiking the ball, it's not like the ball went into the parking lot and we had to go get it.
Right.
His spike of the ball and the extra little seconds it got to get the ball to the ref is no different than the people who keep the ball and do their whole bunch of first downs and salutes and talking to the crowd and flexing. And when the fucking defense runs all the way to the goddamn end zone and throws a party before they get back. The fuck do you mean that's a delay a game? The fuck? So that one, and then the next one they called should not have been a 15-yard face mask. It should have been the 5-yard unintentional hands to the face, because he did not grab the face mask or yank the face mask. His fingers touched the side of the fucking helmet.
Can I be honest? When I saw the replay, I didn't even see him go anywhere near the helmet.
Leo had to like pause his screen because I kept going back and missing real life because I was like, I cannot see him touch it. And he had to send me a screenshot for me to see that the fingers grazed the side of the face mask. And they gave him 15 fucking yards on that.
I'm gonna put this out here before we get to the big one that really did cost us the game. I honestly feel that the second that I think his name is Shane, the Colts coach, Shane. I didn't even
And he should have fucking been penalized for the fit that he was throwing over the DPI calls.
I think he did get penalized. It was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. But I think after that,
his ass should have been fined this week.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll find out if it does on Friday. But I think after he threw that fit was, and you're probably right with all the boos. That's probably when they're like, oh, like maybe we should just try calling it like me. And that's what I hate about the game now is that they tend to try to make it fair when it looks like it's obvious that they're calling it for one side. Like, oh, let's just try to make it fair. You need to call it fair for both sides.
It's only fair if you call the penalties like they're supposed to be called. And if you're going to let them play and you're going to let them touch, you have to let both defenses play and both defenses touch.
Exactly.
Okay, I've seen games like that. I've seen games where it's like, oh, that's usually a PI. That's usually a PI. We've said it before. Sauce Gardner gets away with a whole bunch of crap.
Yes, he does.
Because he's Sauce Gardner. And fine, whatever. We know when we play him that he's going to get away for that. We got to try to make adjustments. You know, we knew you couldn't breathe on Brady.
Mm-hmm.
We just knew that. He was going to cry. So, try not to touch Brady. Patrick Mahomes gets the fucking princess treatment. And even if he pretends he's going out of bounds, you can't touch him because, oh my God, we can't touch fucking the State Farm spokesperson.
Can't even look at Patrick Mahomes funny without getting a flag.
But you can't just stop calling on one side of the ball. And you're supposed to be a referee. You're supposed to be able to take the boos.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to call the game. You are there to make it fair and officiate, not to steal the game from another team.
Mm-hmm. And with that, we get to the final penalty. Like
fucking Jesus Christ!
What is leverage?
Leverage. Okay, leverage has been illegal since the dawn of time. Okay, You cannot. When you come down and when you come up, the long snapper is stuck in the kicking situation where he's got to stay.
Right.
So you cannot put your hands on him to get height to try to block the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they used to do it. That's why it was made illegal in the 70s. because you'd push down to get the height to jump up. I'm not athletic enough to do it, and
I mean, it was a good demonstration, even though some of you was missing a little bit there.
Yeah, I know. I need to do it when I don't have my green screen on. Okay, that rule change came in the 70s, right? Long before I started watching football. You couldn't get leverage. But in 1991, officials were specifically told to stop calling leverage unless it affected the kick.
Yes.
That did not affect the kick. That leverage call hasn't been called in something like 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And while no, you are not supposed to touch the snapper, touching happens every single time. And it especially fucking happened on our field goal that got missed. Our snapper was touched by 4 fucking hands.
I was actually just about to mention that too. So if you're going to call leverage on Denver, why didn't you call it earlier when the Colts did it?
It just feels so much like the KC game where the refs just fucking give the game to Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
It is just so frustrating. And like I say all the time when people complain, well, don't put yourself in a position where the refs can take the game. And I'm also starting to buy into this bullshit. I mean, it's a conspiracy theory, and my brain doesn't want to believe it because I love the game of football, but I'm really starting to buy into Denver was going to cover last week if we made the field goals. And after a long time out, Peyton decides we're going to go for it and not kick and cover. And so many people had bet in Vegas that Denver was going to win this game and cover, and then the refs fucking call a leverage penalty. Because the Colts were favored by 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, fuck Vegas. Fuck the refs. I don't know. I don't like gambling. I don't gamble on sports. And I've told the story numerous freaking times. It's because 12-year-old Kelly lost $1 when John Elway and the Broncos lost to the New York Giants in that Super Bowl in 86.
Yeah, 86.
So I completely understand how long ago that was, but I how much they advertise it, how you can't go more than 30 seconds hearing about it. I'm really tired of sports betting.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And on a completely thrown tangent, I think Max Kellerman lost a whole bunch of money on that fight because dude looked scared.
Oh, the Crawford Canelo fight.
Yeah. They keep showing him after the fight, and he looks like he is spiraling inside his head. So I really hope he doesn't go down any dark alleys or, need his kneecaps because.
Sorry, that's not funny, but I thought it was hilarious. Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought that was hilarious. I think just this whole tangent, just the whole betting and like us being angry about this game, I think it's more laughter out of like anger. But that was a fun story. I like that.
Did you see it? Have you seen those clips?
I haven't.
Oh, you need to look up clips of his face after the decision was called. And when people are talking and he's sitting there, with the headset and just his whole expression, and he looks like he's about to cry at one point, and his just whole expression. I mean,
it's weird. I watched the fight too. I guess I just didn't pay attention to his face.
You should look up clips. Something. He's lost the house or the college fund or something.
Okay. After this podcast, I will. But I think we broke down this game.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
40
done with the game.
Yeah. Wait, is this a J.R. Smith game?
No, I want to remember this because if we have a successful season after this, I want to remember this. I want to remember the ref stole this game from us.
Fair enough.
And if the New York Daniel Jones shows up, I want to remember this.
We shall see. All right. Ready to go around the NFL?
Let's go.
All right. I think I'll cover the quarterbacks first because this past weekend we had a lot of injuries to some big name quarterbacks. We'll just go like from lowest injury to highest injury. So first off, Jane Daniels hurt his knee on the Thursday night game against the Packers, and he could be out against FTR. F the Raiders. He is day to day with a knee sprain. The quarterback that's set to take the field if he can't go, Marcus Mariota, and we don't know how he fared, especially since Denver booted him from his starting job. But I think
on Champ Bailey Day.
On Champ Bailey Day, yep. So not sure how they don't think Jane Daniels' injury is serious, but there is.
But what's wrong with his knee?
They're saying it's a knee sprain.
Okay.
So I don't think
Is it right knee, left knee?
They didn't specify which knee. They just said knee sprain.
Okay.
I mean, I could look it up real quick.
I know it's okay. I just, there's been other the team formerly known as the Redskins, quarterbacks that once they start getting hurt, they don't seem to stop.
Oh yeah, because we had the whole RG3 situation. No, yeah, they actually don't even mention what knee.
Alex Smith and
some
others.
No, yeah, they don't even mention which knee it was. They just say knee sprain.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes as far as the team formerly known as the Redskins and their quarterbacks who seem to have these knee injuries that just hopefully it doesn't spell disaster for Jane Daniels, but be a shame if it does. Next in the severity, JJ McCarthy, who literally had to technically redshirt his rookie year because he got hurt in the first preseason game, comes back for a game, maybe 3 quarters. Now is out 2 to 4 weeks with a high ankle sprain. Might need to go on injured reserve. It is undetermined on how much time he's going to miss. The quarterback that is his backup, Carson Wentz, who had a knee injury in the Eagles' first Super Bowl season, and Nick Foles and led them to the promised land. But man, JJ just has not had any luck so far.
That's true.
So we'll see what that develops. But the biggest injury to a quarterback that happened this last weekend, and I told you about this one because I think this might impact what happens in our predictions next week. Joe Burrow suffered a turf toe injury against the Jaguars, and he is out for a minimum of 3 months because he needs surgery for it.
Well, he had surgery on Tuesday.
Yeah, I think it was. I think he did have surgery on Tuesday.
And they need to rename turf toe
Yeah,
to something that sounds as serious as it really is.
right.
Because turf toe sounds like he stubbed his toe on, the artificial turf.
Right.
It's horrendous. Don't go look it up.
Right. So he's set to be out until at least mid-December. So I'm gonna tell, if there are any Bengals fans that end up listening to this podcast, do not start crying and complaining that you don't make playoffs because your backup quarterback couldn't get the job done in the 3 months minimum that Joe Burrow is out.
Who is their backup quarterback?
Jake Browning. Yeah, I haven't heard of him too until this year.
Okay.
And Jake Browning's backup, Brett Rippon.
Aw. Let it rip, Brett.
Yep. So Denver's set to face Cincinnati next week on Monday night. So it'll be Bo Nix versus Jake Browning instead of the rematch of Bo Nix versus Joe Burrow. And it'll be interesting to see because both the Bengals and the Vikings play each other on Sunday. Both teams are going to be playing their backups. So I'll be curious. I will be mindfully watching that game before our game just to see what happens in that one. And plus, we get to see a little bit of what Jake Browning can do and how we can approach things on that end. But three quarterbacks going down with injuries that are out from anywhere from a week to nearly the entire season. NFL football is back in full swing.
So I wanted to ask you, because what I hear
Yes.
is that this injury now makes Joe Burrow Andrew Luck.
Ooh. Oh, is that the question?
Yeah. Do you agree or disagree?
No, I'm trying to think. I know Burrow got hurt his rookie year and was out for the season, but he did come back the following year and led the Bengals to the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the following year he led the Bengals to the Super Bowl. I'm trying to think of what other injuries he suffered. I know this is, I think, his first big one in a while since that knee injury. So I wouldn't say Andrew Luck just yet. Yeah, I would say no, not yet.
Justin Fields also isn't going to play.
Yeah, I forgot about him. He has a concussion, and he's going to be out for next week.
So we're going to see tried and true Tyrod Taylor.
We are. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't think I'd put Burrow in the Andrew Luck conversation just yet. But I'm telling you, they have got to find a way to protect Joe Burrow because this is like his, fifth year in the NFL? And like, gosh, you got to protect the guy, dude. Like, just protect him. Like, I don't know what they're doing in Cincinnati over there, but they're not doing a great job.
What we said, and this is what I mean. This is what we said about Andrew Luck.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to give up the great Peyton Manning and push him out
of
the house that Peyton built for Andrew Luck and then say, well, we want to go win another Super Bowl, Jim Isray, who I know you're dead, but still you said it.
You did say it.
And then not, have an offensive line that lets them play.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bengals, with their whole host of offseason issues that we've already rehashed, gonna put Joe Burrow behind these people that just let him keep getting hurt.
Yeah.
I can see the parallels.
Yeah, I can see it too. Let's see something real quick. Joe Burrow injury. Oh, here we go. Injury history. All right, here we go. So, Joe, just so I can feed off your question a little bit. So here is Joe Burrow's timeline history from when he started his career in 2020 to this latest injury. So he had in college he had a hand wrist fracture, had a torn rib cartilage during their their championship run, LSU's championship run. First season of the Bengals, torn ACL, PCL, MCL, and meniscus. Then once he recovered from that, had a dislocated finger the next season. And then it looked like after so during the Super Bowl, he suffered an MCL sprain. And then during training camp of July in 2023, so he went the whole 2022 season without getting hurt. Fast forward to the 2023 season, during training camp, he suffered a calf strain, which it looked like he did not suffer. He didn't miss much time. Torn wrist ligaments later on that year in November 2023. And so then he actually had a clean bill of health in 2024. And so now we're up to his turf toe for this. So there have been times where he has gone through like whole seasons without getting hurt. But it seems like it seems to be like every other season he suffers some kind of injury that ends up him missing anywhere from like a month to 3 months or even a whole season, basically. So I can see your argument where he could have turned into the whole Andrew Luck.
I'm just saying.
All right. What do you have for around the NFL?
How do you not know the kickoff rules?
I don't know. How do you not know the kickoff rules?
You know, someone sent me, as we all know, not everybody always agrees with my opinion. And someone sent me a clip of a guy saying, you know, you're right. If the NFL coaches would just listen to the drunks at the bar, the team would win. But no, seriously, all the drunks at the bar know the kickoff rules.
Right.
How are you a paid NFL player and you don't know the ball is live after it goes 10 yards?
Wait, are you referring to the Seahawks-Steelers game?
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, I think I know where you're going with this. Yeah, that was something else.
It just walks away like it.
It's like, oh, it's a touchback. It's a touchback. It's okay. As long as it lands in the end zone, we're good.
The offside kicks work if the ball's not live. Aren't these college-educated men?
You would think. So let's just reference if it's a
for that one. You know, people are going to complain. Oh, you know, all these people talk about football. They think they know things. I know the kickoff rules.
Maybe he had a brain fart and thought it was a punt. And if it hits in the end zone, it's automatically dead. It's a touchback. So maybe he had a brain fart. But, I mean, the other team just scored. You would think, oh, it's a kickoff. Oh. And if it doesn't go in the back of the end zone, like, oh, I should probably go pick the ball up and at least kneel it into the end zone. But nope. Just walked away.
I couldn't believe he just walked away.
I bet you Mike Tomlin was fuming after that.
I'd have had his car towed and made him walk home. Call it Uber. What?
He would have been able to since the game was in Pittsburgh. So,
Well, yeah, because I always say I wouldn't let him on the plane home,
if it was
and
on the
I got
road,
told you have to let him on the plane home, and so now I'm using Jimmy Johnson's line. Well, you don't fucking get dinner then.
yep.
But if you're at home, I'm gonna start towing your car. I'm gonna start calling security and be like, get dude's car towed. So, and I know they won't walk home because they've got 3 fucking Uber from the NFL, which is why I get so mad when they drive drunk.
Yep.
So they'll just fucking Uber home. But god damn, then they gotta go pick up their car from the tow yard at least. Come on. Fuck it.
Okay, so I can imagine Mike Tomlin like this after this has happened. Hello, Pittsburgh Police. I'd like to report a car parked illegally.
You just call the towing company.
Oh yeah, that's true. Pittsburgh Towing Company.
All you got to do is call Joe, the head of security.
Yeah.
Yo, tow Johnson's car. Okay, coach. Acme Tow, come get this car. Well, you know he ain't leaving until the game's over and he showered and all that. You got plenty of time to get a tow truck there.
And then he'll be like, dude. He'd be like, dude, where's my car?
I don't know. Are these players old enough to know that?
I would sure hope so.
I don't know. I went to a Cal Berkeley game.
Mm-hmm.
And great seats. Great seats. And I looked at those kids and I was like, oh my God, these are babies. Oh my God, these are babies. And I actually side-eye a guy that was caddy quarter behind me because he started really yelling at number 3. And I kind of side-eyed him and I said, what? And I said, he's like 19. What? And he stopped. To be fair, he stopped. And then we both started screaming at the Cal Berkeley quarterback because that any college coordinators listening, the Cal Berkeley quarterback doesn't like to look left. He stares down the receiver on the right side, just stares him down, goes right, won't go left for anything. And so by the end of the game, we were both screaming, look left at the dude, but he stopped at the name calling because I was like, dude's 19. Give him, be nice. But Caleb Johnson is paid millions of fucking dollars to know the kickoff rules. And he's not 19. He's at least 23. And he's probably older.
Maybe.
Okay, anyway. Your turn.
Oh, all I had was. Oh wait, no, wait, hold on. Maybe
that's all you had. Oh, okay. I got more.
Yeah, I think that's all I had.
Okay, I got lots more. Okay, I have confusion. Who is the Bears quarterback?
Caleb Williams.
And they wanted Caleb Williams, and then they drafted a top 10 tight end.
Mm-hmm.
A second round wide receiver,
and
got a second round pick, and then traded a second round pick for Chase Claypool. Yes. And Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams still can't win a fucking game. And everyone gave Detroit so much shit. I'm not a big Detroit fan. I'm not a big Dan Campbell fan, but I will say watching Detroit is fun.
Mm-hmm.
And they are my game of the week this week. And I know it's the Monday night game, but all the other fucking quarterbacks are hurt. So I don't, unless you want to go watch a whole bunch of backouts, I don't know what to tell you. People got so picky about my picks for the game of the week. I don't know what to tell you. Don't watch what I pick then. I don't know. So I enjoyed watching Dan Campbell go in and all last week. Oh, they couldn't do it without Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson was really the genius. Ben Johnson has the secret sauce. It's all Ben Johnson. So it was fun to watch Dan Campbell and the Lions go in and beat the fucking brakes off of them. Fuck you and your special sauce.
Oh, sorry. Whew. That was good.
So that was an interesting little tidbit.
Mhm. And here's another. I was like,
Oh,
here's
go
my
ahead.
interesting tidbit is that you took my money. You took the game I was gonna pick, so I'm gonna scramble for one again. So
I don't know. I mean, we could just both talk about it because there's not really another one out there.
no.
And you know what? But no one wants me to pick one that plays when we play. So we're kind of handcuffed this week. But although I am going to talk for a while because I got some tidbits. So if you want to scramble, feel free to scramble.
Okay.
Cowboys versus Giants. Very entertaining game.
Mm-hmm.
There is 6 lead changes in the fourth quarter and overtime, which ties for the most in a single game, which last time happened in 2013. Ravens versus the Vikings. Sorry.
Yes.
I still think the Cowboys have a serious problem because I had it around the NFL about how many yards they gave up last week. They gave up 450 yards to Russell Wilson.
Say that 5 times fast.
I can't. I couldn't say it one time slow. So, and unfortunately, Russ did get 3 touchdowns before he did the Russ thing and throw a key interception to take the game away from the Giants. So touchdowns to bathrooms is now 3-12. And I got 2 bad ones. We all know I hate the Chiefs. I think they were pretty classless in their loss.
Oh, absolutely.
By the way, they are 0-2 and last in the AFC West. And I don't care. I'm going to say it as many times as it's true for as long as I can. But their free 4 shirts were a bad call.
Oh, absolutely.
Rashee Rice was going 120 miles per hour, racing a former teammate. They made multiple aggressive maneuvers and created a 6-car crash that injured 4 people. One of those people being a toddler.
Yeah.
And then when it happened, 4 freed himself and tried to run away. He got out of his car and walked away to not take accountability. He could have killed him, his friend, and all the other people in the cars, and many more. He has pleaded guilty to the baby little felonies they gave him,
Mm-hmm.
which they should have been bigger felonies, but they let him plead to 2 third-degree felonies. He has 5 years probation. He only spent 30 days in jail. He has to pay $115,000 in hospital fees, which is not a lot for his deep pockets.
Nope.
And then all the NFL gave him was a 6-game suspension.
I think initially supposed to be 4, but then they added those 2 games to it. But yeah, 6 games is still too little.
You want to come out and put free 4 like he's fucking Nelson Mandela? Free 4 like he's been he's been accused of something he didn't do? Free 4 like he's a prisoner of war? Fuck all y'all.
I was waiting for that.
fucking bad take is that?
Yeah, that was probably the most classless thing. Like, and I said earlier, Chargers gonna Chargers, Raiders gonna Raider. That was like a Chiefs gonna Chief kind of moment there. But I think that's even low for a Chiefs gonna Chief moment.
Also, Tom Brady's back to cheating.
And
the NFL is back to deleting, trying to cover it up.
Yep. About that.
Tom Brady is a minor owner of the Vegas, I almost said Oakland, Vegas Raiders.
You could just say FTR.
Fuck the Raiders and fuck me. But he's also a broadcaster for Fox Sports.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And as a broadcaster, he has information that is not supposed to get back to the other coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Yet he goes and he broadcasts on Fox. Then he flies to fuck the Raiders wherever they are, and then sits in the fucking coaching booth. So Brady and then the NFL deletes the shit like the internet's not forever.
Oh, the internet's forever. It's forever.
And it's blatant. If it's not blatant cheating, it's blatant conflict of interest.
Oh yeah.
And it's a bad look.
Terrible look.
And Brady needs to be banned from productions meetings, coaches meetings, and team practices. Period.
Yeah.
Across the board. I'm sorry. No. And if the NFL doesn't, if the NFL continues to baby him, because we all know he chose the NFL over his kids.
Because why?
So fuck them kids. Which I didn't say, Brady said. I didn't say it. Brady spent 2 weeks home with his kids, said fuck his kids, I'm going back to the NFL. So Fathers of America, unite. It's just cheating. It's just I cannot believe Roger Goodell cannot stop letting Brady cheat.
Yeah. And wasn't there another? Wait, you might be talking about this, but there was another thing that was talked about where the Eagles had lined offsides, or kind of lined.
Well, all of a sudden, everybody's mad about the tush push, and
Yeah.
I don't love it. I don't love it, but I don't love it from the viewpoint that I don't think it looks like a football play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people lining up and pushing each other's asses, it looks very football-y. Now, I have watched rugby, and it does look rugby-y, whatever that word is. Rugby-ish. There you go. And I am in no way insulting the manhood of rugby players, but rugby is a different game with different rules than football. And it's always been the thing, if you don't like the play, you got to learn how to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to see me dance, you got to stop me from scoring. Cam Newton. So suddenly the refs miss one offside call for the Chiefs after years of all the calls that have gone for the Chiefs. And all the pundits are upset. Oh no, we got to ban the tush push. Now, this is the first I've heard that it's always offsides.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've seen the replay, and this one was egregiously offsides. And I heard Nick Wright's little rant about how, well, you can't see the ball.
Okay.
Who the fuck can see the ball when you're lining up? I mean, has Nick Wright ever lined up on a ball? Because very few people can see that ball when they're lined up.
Mm-hmm.
That's how people jump. That's how people are in the neutral zone. Neutral zone. That's why people move in shifts, because they don't really see the ball. They're going off a count. Duh. So I don't understand why. Oh well, the ball's not. Now it is supposed to be with the belt, but these pants don't have belts, so I don't even know how you officiate that. So, but I find it infuriating that everyone goes crazy because the Chiefs didn't get one call after the proof and admission in April of 2025 that refs are saying, yeah, we always get the call to the Chiefs. Chiefs, if you don't fucking like it, then give all your fucking trophies back, because without all the fucking calls you ain't got any of them damn rings, you ain't any of them damn trophies, and you don't have any of them damn commercials that I'm stuck watching. So if your time with the refs is over, say bye, 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 and fucking play football.
Yep.
And if you're too used to VIP treatment and get in your way and now have to throw a fit every week, maybe you should do us all a favor and go the fuck away.
Wouldn't it? Oh, I forgot how the song goes. I'll think of it later. I think, wouldn't it be nice? And they like chant something else. I just can't remember on the top of my head what it is. It's okay.
But I cannot believe the outrage because one call was missed against the Chiefs.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I might have felt a little different if the refs had not fucked us over too. But I really don't care the Chiefs got fucked over. I really don't care. And I don't know a Bronco fan that does.
It's like that that thing where the Broncos lost the game, but the Chiefs are 0-2.
But it's just we've broken it down. I've broken it down on here at least twice. And then the news article came out in April where the officials admitted they call in favor of the Chiefs. It's a real problem. And it's a problem that people have talked about, that you have a real problem, the favoritism being showed to the Chiefs. Even last week, we talked about it's a real problem, the fact that Patrick Mahomes will if he's touched, gets a flag thrown that extends Chiefs drive, that gives them the win. But if he pretends to go out of bounds and lowers his head and clobbers a guy who he knows can't touch him and then taunts him, there's no flag for that.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to cry and go, oh, you cry if Mahomes goes out of bounds. You cry if he makes a football play. No, I'm crying over all the past history of the favoritism that man has gotten since year 2 in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And how Chris Collinsworth can't call a game without saying his name 18 times.
Or saying here's
and then
a guy 30 times.
They don't get one call. One call is missed. Oh, you got to ban that play. The owners voted on it.
Mm-hmm.
The owner said no. The play is there. Everyone can run that play. There's not a single team that can't run that play. Now, they might not have the ability to run that play. But if it's so fucking unstoppable and unfair, why is only one team using it? Why is only one team being successful with it? Why isn't everybody using it? When we had 4th and 3 to go, why didn't we line up and do it?
Mm-hmm.
It is something that team, that squad executes well. And it is annoying as fuck. And I look at it and I roll my eyes and it's a stupid name and it just doesn't look like football to me, but it's legal. The Bills have tried to run it and it doesn't go very well for them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they did run it earlier this year against the Ravens, and it was successful. And they said that they don't call it the tush push, they call it the snow plow because they're the Bills. So if it's so unfair and it's so lopsided, you have a week of practice.
Mm-hmm.
Learn to run it.
Exactly.
Use it against them. They've been using it for years.
Mm-hmm.
But the outrage, the utmost outrage of everybody that suddenly, because the Chiefs are 0-2, we got to start changing the rules for them. I already lived through a fucking Brady area where we changed the rules for everything. We are not changing the rules for fucking Travis Kelce.
Or Patrick Mahomes.
And especially after a week where you fucking wear free 4 shirts. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Definitely gonna be living up to our explicit rating this week.
That really I mean that's just a bad look.
Yeah, it was a bad look. Very, very, very bad look. It's amazing that the NFL didn't step in, but that's another.
And then, Travis screaming, "I'm sick of this shit." Well, guess what? Most of America is screaming that back at you, Travis. We're sick of your shit. Go the fuck away. You're going to go marry the billionaire blonde and carry her purse. Go fucking do it.
Yes. Ready to get in our game of the week, or do you have anything else on around the NFL?
No, I'm done.
Okay. I guess we can both talk about it. Nothing else really
See, I told you, there's nothing else out there.
I mean, the only other one that jumped out at me was the Eagles and the Rams, because both teams are undefeated. You have Stafford versus Hurts, rematch of the NFC divisional game from last year. The Rams were the only team that gave the Eagles fits that entire playoff run. And they lost because of, I think they were stopped on like a 4th and goal or something. No, not 4th and goal. 4th and 1 or something like that. And the Eagles went on to, and that was like a snow game too. So it's like a rematch of that game. Should be interesting. But we'll talk about Ravens and Lions. Sorry. I lost my train of thought. Okay. So they're both coming off big wins over divisional rivals after losing in week 1, with the Ravens losing to the... Sorry. Who did they lose to? The Bengals.
The Bears.
No.
The Ravens lost the Bills.
The Bills. Yeah, they lost the...
I don't know. We'll just keep going through all the B's until we hit the right one. The Bills.
So
the Ravens lost to the Bills.
Yeah, and then the Lions had lost to the Packers. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yes.
And then the big wins over the divisional rivals. I'm sorry. After losing in week 1. So last week the Ravens destroyed the Browns, which kudos. And then 2, the Lions dismantled the Bears, which you briefly touched on a little bit earlier. Right. It'll be a battle between Jared Goff versus Lamar Jackson, a strong quarterback battle. Both these teams were preseason favorites to get to and possibly win the Super Bowl. It'll definitely be another match of the minds with John Harbaugh going against Dan Campbell. And I think it's the perfect way to end week 3 on a Monday night.
So it should be a good game. The Lions are serious underdogs. The world seems to think that Lamar is just going to crush them.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens defense is very good. Goff isn't quite as mobile and dynamic, but Goff put up a lot of points last season, and they just put up 45,
52.
52. So Dan Campbell is aggressive in his play calling. He's always going to be aggressive in his play calling. He's always going to go for it on 4th and 1. He is not going to, do the tush push to get that first down. And they found their rhythm, and they found whatever was missing in week 1. They seem to have found it against the Bears. And the Ravens, when they go up by double digits, that doesn't always mean anything.
Yeah.
So, Lamar does great. I didn't think he'd struggle against the Browns, even though Myles Garrett said that was wildly disrespectful to think that he would do well against them.
Mm.
We really got to start checking these people for concussions after they give an interview. Oh
my gosh.
How is it wildly disrespectful to think Lamar Jackson is going to beat the Browns? How is that a wildly disrespectful take?
I have no idea.
But there's Myles Garrett in his blue shirt and his sunglasses and his headset going, what do you mean we don't stand a chance? You don't stand a chance.
Didn't they lose like 41-17 last week?
That's what I'm saying. What do you mean it was wildly disrespectful? Anyway,
it got blown out.
And I'm kind of in the camp that Flacco just didn't show up because he wasn't going to beat his former team. I wouldn't have played Flacco. I would have put Winston out there.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can't because he's on the Giants now. Never mind.
Dylan Gabriel.
Who's behind? I would have put him out there. Yeah. He couldn't have done worse.
Yeah.
I mean, Flacco suddenly looked like he was playing for the Broncos again. The hell happened to you? You come back, you win the starting job after coming out of retirement, and you can't get to anyway. I think he threw the game for Lamar. But anyway, Lamar Jackson is always fun to watch. Hollywood Brown is always fun to watch. The Ravens have a pretty decent, defense. And the Lions are always fun to watch. So it should be a fun game to watch. I'm leery that the Lions are so much underdogs. I don't see the logic behind that, but
mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why it's on Monday night.
Yep. Not a bad thing. On that note, since we talked about a game that you should be keeping an eye on, let's get to our game. Big time divisional battle. The winner of this game will be in first place in the AFC West. Hold on.
I have another duck pun.
Okay, what's your duck pun?
These are the dueling ducks, Herbert and Nix.
Love it. I keep forgetting that Justin Herbert was an Oregon Duck too. Gotta start putting that in my mind. The last one I meant to say. So the Chargers will have started the season facing all 3 of their divisional opponents. If they win this game, it might be tricky to catch up to them because they've already beaten the Chiefs. They've already beaten the Raiders. Clearing out half your division schedule in the first 3 weeks of the season and getting all 3 wins could set the stage for them later on down the road. The Broncos are facing their first divisional opponent of the season. And my question for them is, how are they going to respond after this heartbreaking loss? And as it stands right now, the Chargers are a 2.5-point favorite. And I'll get to my storylines once I let you go on. Sorry, I lost my thoughts.
So they are in first place, and they are 2-0, which makes us tied for second with the Raiders, because us and the Raiders are 1-1. And that means the Chiefs are in last place at 0-2.
Yep.
Just in case we've forgotten that, because it's been a whole hour since I mentioned it. So this is where our defense has a problem, because Herbert likes to get the ball out fast.
Mm-hmm.
So when the ball is out quick, we see less Denver defense.
Yep.
So it really does need to be a duel, and it needs to be a shootout. Unless our defense would like to stand up. So, the only advantage we kind of maybe have is the Chargers played the later Monday night game.
Yep.
So they stayed in Vegas, and they did not fly home to LA until Tuesday morning, and then they took Tuesday off. So it's a short week for them, kind of.
I think I heard somewhere that they actually flew home that Monday night and got home like it was like 1 or 2 a.m. Tuesday morning.
I heard they had hotels and stayed the night.
Okay. It could be either one.
I don't know whose source is right. I heard they stayed in Vegas, stayed in the hotel, had the hotels, flew home like at 8 o'clock. I mean, it was an early flight home, but and Vegas to LA is like,
I think I saw an hour or something.
Hour and a.
Yeah, maybe an hour and a half tops.
It depends how they fly in.
Mm-hmm.
So for some reason, I'm under the impression they have to fly west and then south, or south and then west, and they can't just catty corner. Because if they catty cornered it, it'd be like a 45-minute flight. But for some reason, I am under the impression, I don't know why, I don't know where it comes from, and all you flight experts can tell me I'm wrong. For some reason, they can't just go up and catty corner it. So, it makes it about an hour. So it's not like it's that long of a flight. And if they did, I mean, the game started at 7:30.
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock local time.
So, but they gave them 2.5 hours from the first game, right? So the first game started at 5. And then they started the second game at 7:30.
So the first game started 4 o'clock your time, and then the second game was 7 o'clock your time, or like 7:05-ish.
So you figure it's 11 o'clock by the time they get showered and out of the stadium onto the bus. And so, I mean, and then the airport's right there. It'd be a 10-minute drive. And so, yeah, it would be 1 or 2 in the morning before they flew. But my source said they had a hotel and they stayed and then got on a like 8 a.m. flight.
Okay.
And then they took Tuesday off. That's what I was told. My source is wrong. My source is wrong. Anyway, it's still, they took Tuesday off either way. They either flew in at 2 a.m. or they flew in at 9 a.m., but they took Tuesday off, which kind of takes a day of prep away from them. So they've only got 4 days to prepare instead of 5. So they might be a little tired. Not because they're overly jet lagged, but because a football game is a football game.
Mm-hmm.
And, losing a day of prep is losing a day of prep when you're a professional, irregardless.
Yeah.
So the Chargers are missing their left tackle, Rashawn Slater,
Yep.
which means they're going to have to shift their O-line. And my understanding is they'll shift Joe Alt, their right tackle, to left tackle, and then put in the backup right tackle.
Right.
So that's a crew who, again, only have 4 days to prep.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said this before. I've been told right tackle and left tackle are not just easily interchangeable.
Mm-hmm.
So that, we might get stuck with someone making an adjustment, or that comes up off the weak side, and we might look out before he really gets into the rhythm of game. And plus, we're looking at some backups. But remember, we were looking at 3 backup cornerbacks against the Colts and didn't do shit with that. So far this year, which I know it's only 2 games, we have 269 rushing yards.
Solid number.
And the Chargers only have 171, which means they're averaging less than 100 yards a game.
Mm-hmm.
Hampton, their rookie, is only averaging 3.1 yards per carry.
Yeah, I saw a lot of Twitter. I saw a lot of tweets saying that right now RJ Harvey is like the best option. Like, it was a good thing that we didn't go for Amari and Hampton. So I was like, okay. I mean, it's only 2 games, but you do you.
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack. Yep, Khalil Mack is out.
They don't know if they'll have to put him on IR because he's possibly out for the season. So it's not something he's going to rebound from, surprisingly, on Thursday.
Yep.
But the Chargers got 3 turnovers last week, and Bo Nix has already committed 4 turnovers and only are 2 games. Herbert's ranked 4th in the MVP race. He has 560 yards so far and 5 scores with no interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
So their run game is struggling. Their pass game is not. And our linebackers suck.
If you haven't said that already.
I didn't say it like that.
No.
So, I'm keeping my prediction as a loss. I don't trust this team.
No, I understand. Yes, so how the defense handles Justin Herbert, you already handled that one. So just as a recap, so this is our injury reports as of Wednesday. So you're asking about Dre Greenlaw?
Yes.
He still didn't participate in practice. He still has that quad injury. So I don't know if we're gonna see him for this game. Evan Ingram had a back injury out of nowhere. Now he didn't participate. Justin Strnad has a foot injury, didn't participate. Talona Huffanaga. Wow, I can't believe I nailed that. Had a chest injury, but he was limited. Alex Singleton, Nick Benito, and Nate Atkins were all full participants with a thumb, wrist, and ankle injury, respectively. So, defense.
Ingram's back injury didn't come out of nowhere. He's 31 years old.
Yeah, you got a point there. Given how much my back's hurt. One of my biggest storyline is, can Denver take advantage of the Chargers' hurt front 7? As you mentioned, Khalil Mack hurt his elbow Monday night, and he's not going to play. They're also without Denzel Perryman, who is on IR right now with an ankle injury. He's not projected to come back until the earliest he can come back is after the Chargers Week 4 game. J.K. Dobbins, 134 yards on 30 carries this season. if you can keep pounding the rock with with J.K. Dobbins and give R.J. Harvey more carries, take advantage of that front seven. If we can just run the ball down their throats, set up the pass, that way Bo Nix
To the
doesn't
middle
have
of the
to-
field,
to the middle of the field, exactly.
where
Especially
Bo
since
likes
we're
to
going
throw.
where Bo likes to throw. There's a chance. The biggest X factor I have is going to be Riley Moss. I would like to see him keep the receiver in front of him. He did well last week, so I'm going to give him that. Because the Chargers, as we know, love to throw the ball, and they have Johnston and Allen as our two wideouts, and then you have McConkey as your slot guy. So Moss has got to be able to. You're probably going to have Surtain and Moss on Johnston and Allen, and you're going to have Barron on McConkey. So those three guys need to make sure that they can lock down those wide receivers. Just pray that Amari Hampton doesn't have a Jonathan Taylor-esque game, or whoever their tight end is.
You got to stay on the outside shoulder. Okay, go ahead.
I was.
You got to stay onto the outside. I don't know how Singleton doesn't know this. And when you tackle someone, you should wrap up.
Mm-hmm. Wrap up. No, none of this shoulder checks.
I mean, there's a great condom joke in there somewhere. But come on, just football 101.
Yeah, I tried to find it. I can't. I can't find it right now. I'm very
Can't
sure
find it
I'll
right now,
but defend the wide receivers. Put pressure on, especially if Slater's gone for the year. Attack that side of the line. Get to Justin Herbert. Make him feel uncomfortable. And you have a chance to win this game. But I'm going to go with you because, as we stated earlier this year, road division games are tough. I think this game could be close, but I do think the Chargers are going to win this game, unfortunately. And I put down 27-24.
And does that mean the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through LA or Inglewood?
Inglewood
up to no good. Does that mean the road to the Super Bowl goes through Inglewood?
Yeah, I know that. I know the Inglewood terminology there. That was clever. It could, but as I mentioned earlier, we could see a situation where the Chargers are going to Charger. But
even with Harbaugh,
Chargers could Charger. And with that said, that's all I have.
I know. Very few of our viewers stuck with us to the end.
I think our two viewers that are on right now are only on for the last 15 or 20 minutes of this show. So kudos to you if you're watching. If you are watching, let us know. And yeah.
Okay.
But with that being said, would you like to close this out?
Yep. As always, you can find me on X at I Love Talib.
You can find me at TieFlyGuy15.
You can find us both at the same time.
At in_com_plete_2.
All those DMs are open for you to slide right in with song requests, challenge flags, guest requests, topic requests, questions, comments, and concerns. You can even disagree with us. We just ask that you stay clothed.
And keep it respectful.
If sliding into someone's DM is not for you, you can email us at
in_com_plete@outlook.com. And we have Instagram, same thing, in_com_plete_2. And we are live every Wednesday night at 9:15 my time, which is Eastern, 8:15 Central Time, 7:15 Mountain Time, which I'm pretty sure most of you are at, and 6:15 Cali Time or the Pacific Time Zone. If you can't watch us live, which I know is kind of hard, it's kind of late for a Wednesday, we still have our audio podcast, which comes out usually within 24 to 48 hours after after the episode airs. You can listen to us there on wherever you listen to your podcast. That would be Apple, Spotify, iHeart, just wherever you find your podcast, you'll most likely find us there. But don't forget, also rate us, leave a review, let us know what you're thinking. I know how some people think, because I saw today that we got two. Sorry, what's that?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I saw today that someone gave us 1 star on both Apple and Spotify, so I'm calling you guys out right now.
Did they say why?
No, they didn't say why.
They didn't. Well,
They didn't leave the review, so that means
I'm going to assume it's Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. And you know what? Fuck y'all.
So yeah, so we kind of heard that you left us a 1-star review, and all I have to say is
that's my story. No, I mean, we can't give you what you want if you don't tell us what you want.
And we're also not everyone's cup of tea, probably.
No, with all my cussing, I like to say I'm more like a shot of whiskey. So, P.S. Fuck the Raiders. So, but if you want to leave a review and you want to leave more stars, but you don't know what to say, that's fine. That's what I was going to interrupt and say. That's fine. Just leave the stars and leave the comment. Fuck the Raiders.
Yeah, there you go. We'll accept the stars in the comments, especially if they say that. So yeah. What for the 1-star people who didn't tell us what we could do to improve, that's on you. So sorry.
They're Raider fans.
Probably. But it is what it is. But with that being said, and until then, and until next time,
Go Broncos.